Hope you enjoyed this one. This is Sullivan Al giving my latest review of Bleach chapter 637. Hey, baby holds my hand. And even though I have been a little bit struggling with my opinion on making Bleach videos and stuff like that, and reviews, but I'm not gonna deny you guys what you want. So I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start off with what happened last week. And we got you got Kenpachi and Mayuri. They're fighting this strange new opponent, this mysterious creature with the ability to extend some kind of tentacle appendages that can go inside the body and rip you apart. Right? And seeing how Kenpachi, after he got his flesh torn, ripped his own arm off. And yet he still says this is nothing but a flesh wound. You definitely know that you gotta be one badass character to whip your own freaking arm off. So definitely you have to understand. And still call it a flesh wound. I'm like, dude, you ripped your own arm off. I mean, Genryusa had destroyed his own arm, but that was to get at Aizen, and he didn't even have to decide to do a regeneration and get treatment to fix it. But is Mayuri gonna do that for you? I doubt that, because he always thinks of him as a kind of barbarian, always thinking first about fighting and not with his fist and not his head. And so, especially comes as a shock in that chapter as Mayuri when he stabbed him with his sword, or Akizoki Jizo, that his sword's special ability is to paralyze all opponent and to stop their movements. Even though he can still feel pain, his movements are completely shut down. Um, so that's kind of a bit surprising, but not as surprising as this chapter. Their opponent is that small little, weird little dwarf, that little creature, a creature in the black hood. But things are starting off. Mayuri smiling at it, especially he went, especially one of the questions that Ikaku and Yumichika asking Nemu. So Nemu being Yuri's sister, she knows everything about him. She's a servant, and she's an artificial soul, an artificial being created by Yuri. He to be his servant. Yes, when she notices him smiling like that, he knows that when he smiles, it's definitely not a good sign. It means he's been intrigued to the point where he's going to enjoy doing what he has to do, whether it's fighting or taking his opponent apart piece by piece, or making it a guinea pig for his experiments. And that's always been the kind of person Minori has been, and always been about science and using his head to fight. Even though he is a captain of the 13 Corps Squad, his greatest weapon has always been his head, because he thinks ahead and always plans for some strategies along the way, and always coming up with ideas that will always shock people and people that did not see this coming. And that's something you gotta understand. One of the things that Minori after he stabbed Kenpachi. He's always been what you call very belligerent, and always talking down to Hachi. But apparently he didn't stab him just for kicks. He stabbed him to keep him out of the way of this opponent. And one of the things that really took Sting is opponent, and especially the opponent. Apparently Minori knew what this opponent is, but I was just as shocked as anybody when I knew who the hell this opponent was itself. Well, it was something that we've seen before, but now it's in a whole other form that we did not see. Sorry if I I'm moving the thing a little bit, the computer. I got stupid spam email, some dumbass spam email. I just can't get rid of it. Spam, in the middle of a video. One of the things that took my surprise eyes was what was the thing that they were actually fighting. The thing they were actually fighting was the Soul King's hand. It's his left hand. I'm like, I didn't believe it as well. I mean, it was a hand, but whose hand was it? It was the Soul King's hand. I mean, at first we didn't know what the hell it was, but Mayuri confirmed his suspicion when he sensed its energy. He had the energy, and now, like he said, what was the consistency with its energy and its racy? He said he felt it before. The same energy same energy consistency that was back when Captain Ukitake was alive, back when the Soul King's right hand was in Ukitake's body, back when it was his left arm, and that Migami-sama, the Soul King that split off. I mean, we saw the Soul King's main body; it was just a torso and a head, man. But his other body parts were like scattered across other planes of existence. Example, well, in the worst level of the Rukon disc, where Mayuri Captain Gitake was just a child, so his parents went to this shrine where the Migami-sama existed. And the Migami-sama extended his life after suffering a disease when he was a child, but as a result, he used him as a vessel for his own existence. So basically, his life remained alive as long as Ukitake was willing to keep him inside. But we all know that he abandoned him to replace the Soul King after the Soul King died at the hands of Juhabak's sword. No thanks to Ichigo. So, no. But now they're facing this Migami-sama, this right hand of this left hand of the Soul King. Now it's back. It's different. The Migami-sama, it was a total. It was the arm was completely colored black and it had one eyeball, but this thing had two eyeballs in the middle and looks like chains around the fingers. Like all the fingers are chained up. And not chained up like locked away, like chained like connected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, like a vest. You know, like when you put something on it, like a symbol, something holding it up. Like, you know, like a string. But you get the point. Hey, but one of the things that took me interesting, I mean, they're fighting the Migami-sama, who's supposed to be their ally, but after the fall of the Soul King, and Juhapak replaced the Soul King and took the Soul King's palace and remade the world into his own will. That means that in a way he has control over the Soul King's body parts. I mean, think about it. As Juhabak, I mean, he is the Soul King's son, the first Quincy, the Almighty. That means his power level is the same, is probably equal to the Soul King in a way. That basically makes him kind of a god. Nah. So as a result of killing the old god, he took his place as the new god and absorbed the Soul King's essence within himself from the Migami-sama, absorbing into himself and making it bend to his will. So in a way, I'm gonna say that this right hand now, I keep saying right and left hand, I'm sorry for confusing you. This left hand is now become a slave to Juhabak's will. Oh, and that's not far of a stretch. And I mean, Juhabak has come this far for power, killing his father, they're killing the elite guard, killing so many, sacrifices his own people for his own goals, even starting a war so far as to destroy the old world order and to reclaim a new one. So basically, you got to understand that this is one of the possibilities of Juhabak's power, while at the same time, it's still a surprise. I mean, something they knew is now once again their enemies. But thing is, one of the things that also keeps my criteria is Mayuri. He knocked Kenpachi, and he stabbed his own comrade just to keep him from interfering in the fight, to keep him from getting killed. I mean, this thing went inside, carved up his flesh, and exposing the skin and muscles and bones and stuff. Kenpachi still called it a flesh wound and took his own arm off. So, and it was still willing to fight as long as he had one good arm. Yep, but Mayuri stabbed him and knocked him out of the way to make sure that he wouldn't interfere in the fight. I mean, if Mayuri is gonna take on the Soul King's left hand by himself, that means he's gotta have some scheme up his alley. And knowing Mayuri, it's gonna be Sakai devious, animalistic, not animalistic, but devious. Like it has no humanity and probably violates certain decency. I mean, hell, he took the dead corpses of his own friends who were turned into his enemy servants, who were zombies, and turned them into his own zombies, his own servants. So basically, and he's willing to dissect and take apart a body just to see how it works, and even stitches that together just to prove they could be still useful to him. So Mayuri, he probably has something up his sleeve to deal with this threat, to deal with this Soul King's hand right now. I have no doubt that Mayuri won't win. I have no doubt, but then again, and I don't have any doubt that he won't lose either. So basically, Mayuri, he's full of surprises, coming up with bacteria, sneaky ways, and other ideas to probably defeat this opponent, other than other than normal standards. Like so, basically, that's all I gotta say. Knowing that their enemy is a piece of the Soul King that is now bent to Yawach's will, to Juhabak's will now, and it's gonna be an opponent. And can they defeat a piece of the Soul King? That's something. I mean, something they're probably going to be very hard for them because not only are they battling a Soul King, they're battling your watch, Juhabak. So basically, you can probably imagine why this is this why this is such a why this is such a cringeworthy chapter to pay attention to because you can't just ignore this. And it's probably going to be a nasty fight. Hey, if you guys feel the same way, give me your opinion. Comment, subscribe. Thank you. This is Sullivan Now. This is my latest review of Bleach, Chapter 6, 637. Baby, I'm not gonna say the name of the chapter. It's little, it's kind of off for the chapter. I would say the, I would say Dark Hand. I would have gone with Dark Hand or right hand of Doom or left hand of Devil or something. But that's I say, hope you enjoyed this part of the comment, subscribe. Thank you. This is someone else giving my review on Bleach. Hope you enjoyed this part of the comment, subscribe. Thank you. Signing off. They need to bring back the anime. I swear to God. Hope you enjoyed this part of the comment, subscribe. Bye.